Once you see these vibrational signs, your huge spiritual gifts are activated. There comes a moment in life when the layers of reality begin to peel away, revealing something deeper, something unseen but profoundly felt. You start noticing shifts that others dismiss. You sense an energy in the air that no one else acknowledges. Your body reacts to places and people in ways that defy logic. It's as if the universe itself is whispering secrets directly to you. But here's the truth, it's not just your imagination. These are vibrational signs, signals from the fabric of existence indicating that something within you is awakening. And once you see them, once you truly recognize what they mean, your hidden spiritual gifts activate. The question is, will you embrace them or will you ignore the calling? At first, these signs may seem subtle, almost like coincidences. You might find yourself thinking of someone only to have them call moments later. You might wake up at the same time every night, feeling an unexplained presence or energy in the room. Perhaps you begin seeing repeated numbers -111, 222, 333 flashing on clocks, receipts, and license plates. These are not random occurrences. They are the universe's way of nudging you, of confirming that you are in sync with a greater flow of energy. The more you acknowledge these signs, the more they intensify. It's as if reality itself is responding to your awareness, revealing more and more of its hidden layers. But here's the catch: most people dismiss them. They rationalize them away, burying their intuition under the weight of logic, and in doing so, they delay their awakening.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But you are different. You wouldn't be here, listening to this, if something inside you wasn't already stirring. Deep down, you already know that reality is far more mysterious than what we've been taught. You've had moments, fleeting but undeniable, where you felt something greater. Maybe it was a dream so vivid that it felt more real than waking life. Maybe it was an intense déjà vu, a feeling that you've been somewhere before, even though you know you haven't. Or maybe, just maybe, you've had an experience that shook you to your core, an encounter with a presence, a vision, a moment where time itself seemed to bend. These are not accidents, they are invitations. The universe is testing you, watching to see if you are ready to step beyond the illusion of the ordinary world. And if you are paying attention, you'll start to notice another shift, one that happens deep within you. Your emotions become more intense, more unpredictable. One moment, you feel an overwhelming sense of love and connection to everything around you. The next, you are overcome with sadness or frustration, as if you are carrying emotions that aren't even your own. This is because your energy field is expanding. Your sensitivity is increasing. You are no longer just a passive observer of the world, you are starting to feel the currents of energy that flow through it. This is one of the first major signs that your spiritual gifts are awakening. At first, it can feel overwhelming. You might even question your sanity. But make no mistake, this is the price of awakening. The deeper your awareness grows, the more you begin to perceive beyond the physical. And then, something incredible happens. You start to attract synchronicities at an impossible rate. Books, people, and opportunities appear in your life exactly when you need them. You think of a question, and the answer finds you in the most unexpected way. You say something, and moments later, you hear the exact same words spoken by a stranger. It's as if the entire universe is conspiring to guide you, to show you that you are on the right path. But here's where most people falter. They get excited by these synchronicities, but they don't act on them. They see the signs, but they don't listen to what those signs are trying to tell them. And so the universe stops speaking. The synchronicities fade. the magic disappears. Not because it isn't real, but because they fail to respond. So now I ask you, are you truly ready to listen? Because if you are, the signs will not just continue, they will amplify. The universe will not just nudge you, it will push you. The awakening process is not gentle. It will shake you. It will strip away the false layers of your identity. It will force you to confront everything you've been avoiding, your fears, your wounds, your illusions. But this is the initiation. This is the path of unlocking your true spiritual power. And the question is, will you walk it? The hidden forces that are testing you before your gifts activate. The moment you begin to awaken, the universe watches closely. It does not simply hand you spiritual power, it tests you. Every great shift, every profound transformation requires a trial. And if you are experiencing strange, intense, or even painful experiences right now, know this: you are being prepared. Your spiritual gifts are not just abilities, they are responsibilities. And before they fully activate, you must prove that you are ready to wield them. At first, these tests may seem like obstacles, like life is suddenly throwing chaos in your direction. Relationships that once felt stable might begin to fracture. People who once supported you may start to distance themselves. You may find yourself feeling lost, disconnected, or even betrayed. But what if I told you that these aren't punishments? What if I told you that everything unraveling in your life is happening for a reason? The truth is, the universe is stripping away everything that no longer aligns with your higher self. It is removing the distractions, the illusions, the attachments that keep you small. Because when your gifts activate, you cannot afford to be surrounded by energy that drains you. You cannot afford to be bound by relationships that pull you away from your path. And so, one of the first tests of awakening is loss. Not because you are meant to suffer, but because you are meant to rise. But the tests don't stop there. As your energy shifts, you will notice something strange. People will begin to react to you differently. Some will be inexplicably drawn to you, sensing something in you that they can't quite explain. Others, however, will resist you. They will challenge you, criticize you, or even try to pull you back into the old version of yourself. This is because the moment your vibration rises, it disrupts the equilibrium of those around you. People who are not ready to awaken will feel threatened by your transformation. They may try to test your patience, your confidence, or your beliefs. They may even try to convince you that you are imagining things, that your new awareness is just a phase, that you should return to the way things were. But here's the real test: will you allow their fears to become your own? Or will you stand firm in your truth, even when the world around you resists it? And then there is the test of silence. This is one of the hardest trials because it is not external, it happens within. The moment you begin to receive signs, the moment synchronicities flood your life, there will come a period where everything suddenly goes quiet. The signs stop. The synchronicities fade. The universe, which once felt so alive and responsive, suddenly seems distant. And in this silence, doubt creeps in. You may start to wonder, was it all in my head? Was my awakening just an illusion? This is the test of faith. The universe is watching to see if you only believe when the signs are obvious, or if you can trust even in the void. Because true spiritual power is not about constant reassurance, it is about knowing, deep in your core, that you are connected to something greater, even when you cannot see it. And just when you think you've made it through, another test appears: fear. Not just any fear, but the deepest, most primal fears that have been buried within you. For some, this manifests as nightmares, intense emotions, or sudden anxiety that seems to come from nowhere. For others, it may appear as real-life situations that force them to confront their greatest insecurities. Why? Because before you can step into your power, you must clear the blocks that have kept you from it. Spiritual gifts do not thrive in fear. They do not activate in a mind clouded by doubt. And so, the universe brings your fears to the surface, not to break you, but to free you. Because once you face them, once you truly see them for what they are, their power over you dissolves. But here's the most important test of all, the test of choice. Because in the end, no one will force you to embrace your gifts. No one will drag you onto your spiritual path. You will always have a choice. You can turn away, return to the comfort of the known, and pretend that none of this ever happened. Or you can step forward, even when it's uncertain, even when it's terrifying, even when you have no idea what awaits you on the other side. This is the moment that defines everything. Because the universe does not choose the awakened ones, you choose yourself. So I ask you right now, in this very moment, what will you choose? Will you ignore the signs, dismiss the tests, and return to the illusion of safety? Or will you embrace the unknown, trust the process, and step into the power that has always been waiting for you? The moment your gifts activate, everything changes. Here's what to expect. There is a moment in every awakened being's journey when everything shifts. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it happens so subtly that you don't even realize it until you look back and see how much you've transformed. Other times, it crashes into your life like a tidal wave, tearing apart everything you thought you knew. But one thing is certain: once your spiritual gifts activate, nothing is ever the same again. At first, the world feels different. Colors seem more vibrant, sounds more distinct, and time itself begins to feel strange. You might notice that moments stretch and contract in ways that defy logic. An hour can feel like a second, or a single moment can feel like an eternity. This is because your consciousness is no longer fully bound by the linear structure of time. You are beginning to perceive reality beyond the physical, beyond the limitations of the mind. And with this shift, something even more profound begins to happen. Your intuition, once a quiet whisper, becomes an undeniable force. You just know things before they happen. You sense people's true intentions before they speak. You feel energy in a way that you never did before. Walking into a room, you can immediately tell if the energy is light or heavy, peaceful or chaotic. You may even start to feel other people's emotions as if they were your own. This is the awakening of your empathic abilities, a heightened sensitivity to the vibrational frequencies around you. At first, this can feel overwhelming. You might find yourself needing more solitude, more time away from noise and crowds. You may even feel exhausted by certain people, especially those who drain your energy or vibrate at a lower frequency. This is not a coincidence. Your energy field is recalibrating, adjusting to its new level of awareness. And then, the synchronicities return, but this time, they are undeniable. Not just numbers on a clock or random coincidences, but direct, unmistakable messages from the universe. You think of something, and it manifests almost instantly. You have a question, and the answer appears in the most unexpected way. You speak something into existence, and reality bends to meet you. This is not magic, it is alignment. You have stepped into the flow of universal intelligence. You are no longer just wishing for things to happen, you are co-creating with the very fabric of existence. But with this power comes responsibility. You begin to realize that your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are shaping your reality in real time. If you dwell in fear, you attract situations that reinforce that fear. If you focus on abundance, opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. This is one of the most shocking realizations for many people, that the external world is merely a reflection of their internal state. And once you understand this, there is no going back. You can no longer blame the world for your circumstances. You can no longer pretend that you are powerless, because now you know the truth. You are creating your reality with every thought, every word, every belief. But as your gifts activate, you may also experience something unexpected: the resistance of the old world. Not everyone will understand your transformation. Some will be inspired by it, drawn to your energy, seeking to learn from you. Others, however, will resist it. They will question you, doubt you, or even try to bring you back to the version of yourself that they were comfortable with. This is another test. Will you shrink yourself to fit into their reality, or will you stand firm in your truth? And then there are the dreams. Vivid, powerful, sometimes even prophetic. You may begin receiving messages in your sleep, visions that feel more real than waking life. Some of these dreams will be deeply symbolic, revealing insights about your path, your purpose, or even past lives. Others may feel like direct downloads of knowledge, information that you couldn't have possibly known before. This is because your consciousness is expanding beyond the physical realm, tapping into higher dimensions of wisdom. But perhaps the most profound shift of all is the way you begin to perceive yourself. You no longer see yourself as just a person moving through life. You begin to recognize the deeper truth: you are infinite consciousness, temporarily inhabiting a human form. You are not separate from the universe, you are the universe experiencing itself. And once you realize this, fear begins to lose its grip on you. Because how can you truly fear anything when you know that you are eternal? And so I ask you, are you ready for this shift? Are you ready to embrace the responsibility that comes with your power? Because once your gifts activate, there is no turning back. The illusion of limitation dissolves. The veil between the seen and unseen thins, and you step fully into the truth of who you are. The final transformation: becoming the master of your own reality. There comes a point in your awakening where you realize you are no longer just a seeker. You are no longer just someone experiencing glimpses of higher consciousness. You have become something else entirely. A creator. A master of your own reality. The question is no longer whether you are gifted, whether you are connected, whether you are capable. The only question now is, what will you do with it? At this stage, your perception of life is completely different from what it once was. You no longer feel like life is happening to you. You understand, with absolute certainty, that life is responding to you. Every event, every encounter, every so-called coincidence is simply a reflection of your inner world. If there is chaos outside, you look within. If things are flowing effortlessly, you recognize that it is because you are in alignment. There is no more blaming, no more waiting for external change, no more seeking answers outside of yourself. You have become the answer. And this is where true mastery begins. You start to see reality as fluid, malleable, responsive. You realize that the universe is not some distant force controlling your fate, it is an extension of your consciousness. When you focus on something with deep intention, reality bends. When you hold an unwavering belief, circumstances shift. When you embody a frequency, everything in your life rearranges to match it. And the most powerful realization of all: you have been doing this your entire life. The difference now is that you are doing it consciously. But with this awareness comes a new level of responsibility. You can no longer afford to entertain thoughts that do not serve you. You can no longer afford to speak words that contradict your desires. You can no longer afford to carry beliefs that limit your potential. Because now you know every thought, every word, Every belief is a command to the universe. You are no longer just reacting to life, you are designing it with precision. But even as you step into this mastery, there will still be challenges. Not because you are failing, but because you are refining. The universe will continue to test you, not to punish you, but to strengthen you. It will ask, how deeply do you trust in your power? How unwavering is your belief? Will you hold the vision even when external reality has not yet caught up? Because this is the final secret: reality is always delayed. The physical world is simply an echo of your past energy. What you see today is the manifestation of who you were, not who you are becoming. And so, the true test of a master is patience. Can you hold the vibration of what you desire, even before it appears? Can you trust the unseen, knowing that it is already on its way? And then, something extraordinary happens. You no longer just manifest things, you manifest states of being. You no longer chase happiness, love, abundance. You become them. And because you are them, they flow effortlessly into your life. People, opportunities, synchronicities, they all align with your frequency. Not because you force them, not because you beg the universe for them, but because they are the natural reflection of who you are. At this stage, your presence alone shifts energy. You walk into a room and people feel it, not because of what you say, not because of what you do, but because of what you are. Your very existence becomes a transmission of higher consciousness. And without even trying, you begin to activate others. People start waking up just by being around you. They begin to question, to expand, to remember something they had long forgotten. You become a living example of what is possible. And this is the final transformation. You are no longer just someone who has awakened. You have become the awakening itself. You have stepped beyond seeking. You have stepped beyond learning. You have stepped into being. So now, I ask you, what will you do with this power? How will you use it? Because the journey is not over. In fact, it has only just begun. You are no longer waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle.